sees a problem, he's there to fix it. That's a man is about order. He sees there's a problem. How can we solve it? And we're those guys. We're the ones who want to see the problem solved, man. Yeah. We want to see the issue fixed. But now, if you're the one to say, "Oh, I love my life," you love the problem. You loved it. You love problems, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got a very passive attitude to it. You see two sodomites walking, he's like, well, they just do what they do. You know, that's life. You know, but you know, you just gotta keep going. You know, you got a very passive attitude to wickedness. Oh, they have rights. You know what I'm saying? They have rights. It's all about love. You know what I'm saying? That's passive. That's you loving your life, man. You know what I'm saying? We're like, no, there's been a bit of judgment for that, man.
And that's something that Esau don't want. Esau don't want us to go against it. Yeah. Esau wants us to go along with it. We ain't going along with you, Esau.
That's right.
Okay? Do you not understand that? No matter what you do, the scripture says, man, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. You can't deceive us with your nonsense, your shenanigans.
That's like Esau. He's very attractive. When I say attractive, it's the evil. It's his whole attitude. He has he just goes along with the evil, man. Mm-hmm. It looks attractive in it because he's not stressed about it. He's just
going about it. Yep.
Yeah, he's just going about it. You know what I mean? He's going about it. And guys like us, we seem very unattractive. If you see us in the eyes of the world, we're not attractive at all, man. Mm. You know what I'm saying? People, that's what you don't see. No one hangs around us, man. Look, no crowds of people hang around us, man. Because we're unattractive. We're always moaning. We're always groaning. We're always complaining about every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? But Esau don't complain. He just is cool with it. You know, it's not a problem. He's just not stressing. Mm. That's why he looks very attractive. You know what I mean?
This is Sirach 13 and 23. So it says, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue. And look, what he saith, they exalt it to the clouds.
Yeah, because he's on top, man. He's on top. He's a rich man. You know what I'm saying? When you're on top, man, you get many friends, man. People wanna be friends with you. You know what I'm saying? They wanna get links with you. Well, because they're trying to get a piece of your glory. They're gonna try and get a piece of your shine, man. Because you're on top. You're winning. Everybody loves a winner. Everybody loves a winner, man. No one loves a loser because they don't want that dark shroud to cover them. They don't want to be infected by your losing spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? People want to be. It's infectious, man, to be around a winner. Somebody else doing good. Everyone wants to be hanging around that, a friend that. You know what I'm saying? All the women want to give their vagina to that. You know what I mean? That's how it is when you win it. They extol your words, even though your words don't make no fucking sense, man. They still extol your words.
Yeah, because you got it going on.
Yeah, because you got it going, man. You got it going on for you, man. So even all the women, even though you're saying it's bullshit, they still support your shit, man. Go on.
So it says they exalt it to the clouds, but if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him.
Because you ain't shit.
Come on.
You ain't shit. No matter how much words of wisdom you speak. You know what I mean? Out there, man, in Brixton for years, man, when people pass me by, no matter how much words of wisdom I'll speak, no one paid attention to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a nigga.
Alright.
I ain't shit. I ain't got nothing going on.
But that's in the eyes of the world.
Come on.
That's in the eyes of the world. So in the eyes of the world, like you said, you know, they say that you ain't shit, but really, again, man, it's all an illusion, man. Really what it is, the truth be told, yeah, we don't look too, you know, attractive, and we don't have the alluring look of the world. But in all reality, let's just keep the shit real. We're actually winning. These motherfuckers are the losers, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's only everybody can't win. Everybody can't win. There's only a few people that can win.
Right.
But the majority of the people, they're a bunch of losers. And that's always the case. Like when you watch any form of racing, right? Like I like to get into GT car racing. The only three cars, the only amount of cars that can win is three of them. Okay, if you come in first, second, or third place, you're gonna be on the podium. The fourth car ain't going on the podium. So it's just like us. The Lord is only dealing with a few winners. The majority of these people, he ain't dealing with them because they're already preordained to lose. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, we may look like a bunch of, you know, poor, you know, miserable, complaining group of men, but in all reality, we're winners. Okay? Because this world will make you become a loser. This is a losing society. Hell, society's losing already. Look at the economy. Look at this coronavirus, making people go crazy. They can't even come out here. Ain't nothing going on out here.
Precept.
But they out. But they in their house. Why? Because they're losers, man. They're afraid. They're scared. Go on, brother. A winner in heart and mind. They do they do whatever it takes to win, even if it costs them their life. And that's what we're doing. Go on, brother.
Isaiah 24:7 says, "The new wine mourneth, the wine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh.
Yep.
The mirth of the tabrets ceaseth."
Right. The mirth of the tablet ceaseth, and you reading about the wine because they told everybody, look, don't gather together in pubs. That's what they said. And it's going to get to that point where people ain't going to want to gather in pubs if they keep pushing this coronavirus scare.
Yeah.
It's going to get to the point where they're going to manipulate the minds of the people to not get in contact with one another. So that's the mirth and the music and all of that nonsense that they do in the season. Go on, brother.
The mirth of the tabret ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoiceth endeth.
Right.
The joy of the harp ceaseth.
Yep.
They shall not drink wine with a song strong. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it.
And you probably got people drinking the wine to this very moment in time, not because they're happy, no, because of this goddamn coronavirus, man. And there's crackers that say they don't smoke have now become smokers. You see? So who's really losing here? Okay, that's all right. We don't look like a bunch of losers for the time being. But just so at the end of the day, we can win.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
I'll say this one thing, is that when I went to Sainsbury's and I was filming in Sainsbury's, man,
Shit ain't it?
I see everything was empty, but when I went to the alcohol section, there was no but alcohol there.
Yeah, I said the same thing today.
No, I was looking thinking, wow, man, no one took
No one ain't
alcohol.
drinking no alcohol.
No one. So that's what it says. The wine shall be bitter, man.
Yeah.
Because I don't want trying to. They realize that wine, that you don't need that, man.
Yeah.
Water is what you need, man.
The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up,
Yeah.
that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy do darken.
Right.
The mirth of the land is gone.
And where's everybody out here? Because normally when we're out here, people are playing their music and boom bapping and all of this other stuff, right? You got the carriages, you got people riding on horse carriages and everything like that, acting a damn fool. Where you see that at? Pan the camera around, brother. Where you see that at?
All
All
right.
you see is a motherfucker smoking, man. That's all you see.
Yeah.
Somebody getting drunk because of this coronavirus shit.
Yeah.
So we're in that time where the murphing it up and the partying and bullshit and what is bread and circuses is all it's done with.
Right.
And I want to even talk about that because even sports, they cutting that shit.
Yep.
They suspended the NBA season.
Yep.
They've even postponed the this racing program that they put on TV every once in a while, even on YouTube, 25 per month. That was postponed to September the 29th.
Yep.
And because I've been watching it for years, and it normally comes on like every drink. But they postponed that bad boy to September.
Okay, even the Euros, they postponed that to next year. And that's so that was meant to be summer this year. They postponed it to next year.
Yeah, they postponed it to next year. Go on, brother.
May I just make a quick point, because we were talking about these people, and what I've noticed is that everybody's talking about social distancing now, because and this means that everybody's going to be distrustful of their neighbour. But he's also created a society of people where people are wicked and selfish.
Yeah.
So in a way, he's made generations and generations of people who are just all about themselves. Now he's going to weaponize those people by turning them against each other.
Yeah.
So they bring out,
Yeah.
and it's also with the kids at the school. He's
Nice
taking
one.
all these kids off school, and for generations, these kids are becoming more and more unruly and more restless.
Yes.
So now they're going to be forced at home, and they're all going to get like, I don't want to be at home, I don't want to be at home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's when
rebellious.
they're
They're
going
gonna
to
get
go out.
rebellious.
And they're going to go out and they're going to start tearing shit up, because
That's
Esau
right.
said they're not going to be arresting people for petty crimes.
Yep.
So he's created a perfect storm. Let me just get this piece.
But you know that's heavy.
That's called purge.
That's heavy you say
Yeah.
that, because if you notice, people are beginning to become more narcissistic and more what's the word, man? More narcissistic and more full of themselves.
Yeah.
And to not care about other people. Why? Because that's all due to what? Social engineering.
That's right.
Because in the past, people had some kind of hospitality against one another. Now everyone's selfish. That's the word I wanted to use.
That's
People
right.
have become more selfish than they've ever became before.
Yeah.
Yes, please do, brother. You know?
My
Yeah, go on,
the
bro.
precept. This is Matthew 24:12. Because of iniquity, the love of many shall wax cold.
Right, because of the-
I
yep.
haven't said it wrong, sorry.
Yep.
And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Right, because of much iniquity, the many shall wax cold, meaning there's not gonna be no love out there.
Right.
But like I said, Esau has programmed the minds of many to be selfish, to be narcissistic. So when the right time presents itself, as we're in right now, what do you think is gonna happen? People are gonna become, like you said, distance against one another, and then there's gonna be all kind of clashes between the people because they trying to get their goods,
Yep.
protect themselves, and all of that.
Yep.
Because people don't love nobody. Let's just keep the shit real. No one loves nobody out here. When people say to us, "Why don't you teach about love?" God damn it, ain't no love in this city, man. I go on these buses and no one says, "Hey, how you doing?" and "Oh, I love you." Ain't nobody saying no shit like that, man. But they telling us, "Oh, you teaching hate." Yeah, because it's hate all over the daggone place. And more hate's coming, by the way. Go on, bro.
It's lucky, man. Just add one more thing. What you need to remember is that these people don't fear the Most High. The only thing they feared was Esau.
Right.
Now Esau's not going to be a threat to them. They're going to act out all their own wicked imaginations because they're not going to have any fear whatsoever. They're going to be like, you know, I can do what I want until they see the coming of the chariots
Right.
and the house
Right.
So these people, you're going to see how wicked they really are.
Yeah.
With that wicked, they're not going to consider that the Most High is bringing judgment.
Yeah.
They're not thinking that, alright, I don't have to fear Esau, but I should fear God, man.
Right.
They're not thinking like that. They're not thinking that Esau, this is the Most High's doing. The Most High's doing all this, man. So why they're doing all this wickedness, kidnapping people, stealing from beating people up, dishonoring other people, dishonoring themselves in the process, doing all kind of evil. They're not thinking that the God's they're making it work. They're digging a hole for themselves, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is 2 Timothy 3. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come.
Yep.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
Right. You got motherfuckers taking selfies all over the damn place, man. They on the bus and they just cannot calm themselves down and just do what they gotta do, man. They gotta pull their phones out. Oh, let me take a side selfie. Come on, man. You got grown ass dudes doing that shit now. Women used to do that. Now you got grown ass men doing that shit. Lovers of themselves. Go on, brother. Right.
Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemous,
Right. Proud, blasphemous. Go on.
disobedient to parents,
Disobedient to parents, and you have men that have learned under the apostles, and they acting like they got the truth for themselves. So you got them kind of spirits out there amongst the brotherhood. Go on.
unthankful, unholy,
Right, unthankful and unholy, and that's just what you got out here. People are unholy. Okay, what does the word holy mean? The word holy means to be clean. So this world produces, like I said, a bunch of mindless maggots to be degenerates, therefore defiling themselves. All right, and we can get the apocrypha on that. Go on, bro.
without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers,
Right, liars. Go on.
incontinent,
All right, you got people that have said that you guys believe in rape. You guys believe in rape. False accusers. Go on.
incontinent, fierce,
And if we were really doing that shit, we would all be locked up by now. Pretty sure we'd be locked up. Go on.
incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good.
Right, despisers of those that are good, and the world despises us. Even certain men in Israel despise us, man. And I kind of understand why they do, because we always start trouble beginning with the apostles, you know? But we doing it because it's scriptorial. We doing it in the scriptorial sense. We're not starting trouble just be starting trouble. It says mark those which
Cause divisions.
right, which cause divisions and go contrary to the doctrine. That's why we start the trouble. But we're doing it for the benefit, for your benefit. Okay, we're not just doing it just to be doing it. Go on.
Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High.
Yeah, and that's these people. They love pleasure more than they love the Most High. And that's why a lot of people will not repent, because they simply love the pleasures that this world gives off. But
Right.
it is all an illusion. It's all a lie. Okay? All of it is all a lie. You know, there's no truth in this place. That's why the scripture says we have no certain dwelling place. Because this is not a place that you can rely on truly, really. Once you wake up to the truth and you know that. Go on, bro.
Precepts here, 2 precepts here. This is 1 Timothy 5 and 6. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
Yeah.
And the second one is James 5 and 5. Let me get that. It says, Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter.
Right.
You have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you.
Yeah, that's it on that, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to read some more in this article here on how you have the 20,000 troops to help in crises. Because we can't forget, brothers, man, that the boots are on the ground now. Lord willing, they're going to expand too. The military's going to expand. It's going to go from 20,000 to probably 80,000. Woo! So let's read this. The new force made up of 10,000 military personnel who are regularly deployed to civilians' activities, plus an extra 10,000 in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, has been placed at high readiness. So these guys have been placed in high readiness because it's already a scareful thing to see a bunch of military men playing in the streets of London. That's scary in itself. But for them to be in high readiness in mind, that means that if necessary, if someone gets out of line or do something wrong, they can just shoot and kill you because of panic. All right. Let's read some more on this. It says, its future role is likely to focus on transport. So they're going to be around the tube station. They're going to probably be waiting at the bus stops and all of that. Logistics and engineering supports during the crisis. Although this could expand into more specialized functions. And these look at you, man. They're going to see.
That was the spirit, because we, so like to cut you short, there should be kids that are lovers of themselves, disobedient to parents.
Right.
And kids, if you heard their language,
yeah, man.
effing this, effing that.
Yep.
Badass kids.
Yeah, they're terrible kids, man. But you know what it all goes back to? It all goes back to the parent, and it all goes back to the government misruling these kids. Because every time you walk past these guys, man, they always cussing in the street. They have no manners. You see, and just seeing those kids like that, because they're supposed to be the future to uphold this world. So if these individuals, if these young little youth, man, can't even uphold themselves uprightly, then this world can't stand, man. There's no future for this place.
That's right.
Go on, brother. Yeah, you have something.
That was on Timothy's.
Oh, no, let me read some more on this. Salakia. I thought you brothers was reading. I was actually reading this. Salakia. Yeah, this is in the UK overall. So it says, its future role is likely to focus on transport, logistics, and engineering support during crises. Although this could expand into more specialized functions, a group of 150 military personnel are due to start training next week in how to drive oxygen tankers in order to support the National Health Service's treatment of coronavirus patients requiring ventilations and critical care. Why would you put patients on a drowsy remote ship when there are hotel rooms spoken of by the British official? So it says, when there are hotel rooms lying empty, it would be better to book up the holiday next to the hospital. So it says, putting more personnel at a higher state of readiness and having our reserves on standby gives us greater flexibility to support public services as and when they require our assistance, said Major General Charlie Stickland, Assistant Chief of Defense Staff for Operations and commending the Covered Support Force. So they're going to come down, the military are going to come around in these streets of England, okay, predominantly the cities, to protect the people from this COVID-19 thing. But really, it ain't got nothing to do with that. It's got something to do with the agenda. The agenda is to lock down London, to lock down main cities of the UK and all around the earth. That's the intent of ESOS, to lock down these streets, to declare martial law, which are in a mild form of martial law as it stands. Go on.
This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 17. For there shall be in every place. There shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
Meaning that you're going to have the government, they're going to want to seek to kill us or to imprison us because we're not going according to their agenda of the elite, which controls media, which controls the policy powers, which is the police. So they're going to want to go for us. But this is where the world is going towards. So when you know this truth and you know the prophecies, obviously you're gonna become a miserable git like me. You know, you're not gonna be a happy go figure. You'll only be happy because you're naive.
Alright.
You're nice, which the word nice means naive. And that's what these people are, they're naive. Especially these crackers, man.
You're not woke. You know, they're dead, you know? Yeah.
They're dead from the neck up.
You know, they're still sleeping. You know? They said there'll be an insurrection. There's a scripture, you should get the scripture that talks about when Yahweh Shai got arrested, man. Get that scripture.
Yeah, the persecuted.
When he got arrested in the Garden of Gethsemane, man. And they brought him before the Israel United Crash guys, man.
The boys in purple, right?
Faniola and them, man.
You got the boys in blue, and then you got the boys in purple.
You know what I'm saying? Get that. This is an example of how we ought to be. Yahweh Shai, he had an example to set. You know, he had a responsibility. Okay? That's how we ought to be. It's like Yahweh Shai. He stood stiffly, man. Okay?
You just prepared. As we ought to be prepared.
Wait.
So it says, this is Matthew 26 and 3. So it says, then assembled. I'll start at verse 1. So it says, and it came to pass when Yahweh Shai had finished all these sayings, he said unto his disciples, ye know that after 2 days is a feast of the Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified. Then assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people unto the palace of the high priest, who was called Sephias. And they consulted that they might take Yahweh Shai by subtlety and kill him. But they said, not on this feast day, lest there be an uproar among the people. Now when Yahweh Shai was at Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured this one.
No. When they arrested him. When they came with staves. Because he was in the Garden of Gethsemane. He was praying.
Come on.
Praying. That's when Judas Iscariot, man. That's the one. Why come at me with staves?
John 18. So it's John 18 and 1. So it says, when Yahweh Shai spoke, when Yahweh Shai had spoken these words, he went forth with his disciples over to Brook Cedron, where was a garden, into which he entered and his disciples.
Right.
And Judas also, which betrayed him, knew the place, for Yahweh Shai oft times resorted thither with his disciples. Judas then, having received a band of men and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, come thither with lanterns and torches and weapons. Yahweh Shai therefore, knowing all these things that should come upon him, went forth and said unto him, whom seek ye? They answered him, Yahweh Shai of Nazareth. Yahweh Shai saith unto them, I am he. And Judas also, which betrayed him, stood with them. As soon as he had said unto them, I am he, they went backward and fell to the ground.
Yeah, that's the power that Yahweh Shai had. He said, I am he. And they all just fell back like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's power, bro. That's spiritual power, man. He says, you him. He says, yeah, I am he. And they all just fell back, all of them. You know what I mean? That's spiritual power. Okay? Go ahead.
Then asked he them again, whom seek ye? And they said, Yahweh Shai of Nazareth. Yahweh Shai answered, I have told you that I am he. If therefore ye seek me, let these go their way.
Right.
That the saying might be fulfilled which he spoke, of them which thou gavest me have I lost none. Then Simon Peter, having a sword, drew it, and smote the high priest's servant, and cut off his right ear.
Yeah, because Peter is King David, the reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? So he always had that warlike spirit where...
So it says, the servant's name was Malchus. So it says, and then said Yahweh Shai unto Peter, put up thy sword and sheath into the sheath. The cup which my father hath given me, shall I not drink it?
Right, so his cup was to die. Okay, to fulfill what was written in the law and the prophets, man. Okay? But obviously Peter at the time, being a disciple, he wasn't fully privy to that, man. He was still in his emotional state, trying to protect Yahweh Shai. Okay? He had that zeal. That's why he took out his sword. Okay? But Yahushua said, put your sword back in. Why? Because it's not the time. Because from where he said, I am he, and they all fell back. That showed you right there that Yahushua had the power to overcome all of them, man. But he allowed them to do it to fulfill prophecy. Go ahead.
So it says, then the band and the captain and verse 12, then the band and the captain and officers of the Jews took Yahushua and bound him and led him.
See, they bound him. Yahushua allowed them to bound him. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
So it says, and led him away to Annas first, for he was father in the law to Saphias, which was the high priest that same year. Now,
Caiaphas,
Caiaphas, yeah. So it says, now Caiaphas was
Caiaphas means stone.
Because he had the hardest head. That's what they call it, stone.
now
But Yahushua was the chief cornerstone. But Caiaphas, he was the left cornerstone.
So it says, now Caiaphas was he which gave counsel to the Jews that it was expedient that one man should die for the people.
Right.
And Simon Peter followed Yahushua, so did another disciple. That disciple was known unto the high priest, and went in with Yahushua into the palace of the high priest. But Peter stood at the door.
Read that part again.
This is verse 15. So it says, and Simon Peter followed Yahushua, and so did another disciple. That disciple was known unto the high priest, and went in with Yahushua into the palace of the high priest.
That must have been Judas. Judas Iscariot, man. Betrayal.
So it says verse 16, but Peter stood at the door without, then went out the other disciple, which was known unto the high priest, and spake unto her that kept the door, and brought in Peter. Then said the damsel that keep the door unto Peter, art not thou also one of this man's disciples? He saith, I am not. Verse 18, and the servants and officers stood there, whom had made a fire of coals, for it was cold, and they warmed themselves, and Peter stood with them and warmed himself. The high priest then asked Yahushua of his disciples and of his doctrine. Yahushua answered him, I spake openly to the world.
Right.
I ever taught in the synagogue,
Yeah.
and in the temple, whither the Jews also resort, and in secret have I said nothing.
Right. So Yahushua didn't back down from their accusations, man. Yeah, he said, yeah.
He didn't fight it.
I've never spoken secret. You've always seen me out there. I've got nothing to hide. You see me speaking in the synagogues. You saw me speaking in the marketplaces. You saw the things I was doing, healing the people. I've got nothing to hide from you. You go on.
Verse 21, why askest thou me? Ask them which heard me, which I have said unto them. Behold, they know what I said.
Right, so he said, don't ask me, ask the people who heard me. All the people that heard my ministry. Ask them and see what they were saying to you, man. Go on.
So it says, and when he had thus spoken, one of the officers which stood by struck Yahushua with the palm of his hand, saying,
See, they backhand him, man. Or they slap him.
That was the beginning of it.
You know, and you slap the Son of Man, the son of Yahushua, the Son of the Most High. Excuse me. You know what I mean? Go ahead. So Yahushua remembered all that. He's sitting on the right hand of the Most High right now, man. Remembering how he was abused, man, all those thousands of years ago, man. How they smacked him in his face.
Yeah.
He remembers them name by name, remembers their faces, man. It goes on, it's like memories, man. You remember.
Yeah.
Flashback.
If I could just add to what he's saying, one time I was doing wrong anyway, but I got Sanhedrin, he slapped me, yeah? Alright, but I was doing on the left hand side, Centurion, yeah? And that same guy, about a year later, I saw him on the TV getting arrested for corruption, that same police officer. So the Motard made me see that. And that was me even doing...
Look, I got him back for you.
And even though I was doing wrong, the Motard let me see that justice was done to that same guy. He was a corrupt police officer, you know? But even relating to this now with Yahushua, what Yahushua is going to do? Yahushua wants a personal, he's got a personal vendetta against him.
Yeah, he's got vendettas against certain people, man. Because he was saying to the Pharisees, yeah, you saw me out there speaking. Ask the people who heard me, man. You know, and then one of them guards thought he was fit to smack Yahushua in his face, man. You know what I'm saying? In his mouth.
And so lucky, that's why also in Revelation where it says every eye shall see him, even those that pierced him. So Yahweh Shai has a personal vendetta against them centurions. That's why it specifically mentions those that pierced him.
And certain niggas, man. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
So verse John 18 and 22, so it says, and when he had thus spoken, one of the officers which stood by struck Yahweh Shai with the palm of his hand, saying, answerest thou the high priest so?
Yes, is that how you answer the high priest so?
Verse 23, Yahweh Shai answered him, if I have spoken evil, bear witness of the evil. But if well, why smitest thou me?
So, why you smacking me for? I haven't done any evil. You know what I mean? Go
So it says, now Annas had sent him bound unto Caiaphas the high priest. And Simon Peter stood and warmed himself. They said therefore unto him, art not thou also one of his disciples? He denied it, and said, I am not.
Right, so he denied, that's the second time he denied it. One at the gates, and the second while he's warming his hands. Go ahead.
Verse 26, one of the servants of the high priest, being his kinsman, whose ear Peter cut off, saith, did not I see thee in the garden with him? Peter then denied him, Peter then denied again, and immediately the cock crew.
Yeah, because Peter he's in a split mindset because he doesn't know what he's getting himself into here, man. Whether he wants to get persecuted along with Yahweh Shai. He's like, I saw you with him. He's like, no. You didn't see me with him. You know what I mean? So it's almost like he's trying to escape persecution, man. Okay, because you have to understand, Peter at this point, he's a disciple. He's not an apostle yet. The Spirit is not really working with him at this point, right? So he doesn't know what he's getting himself into, man. It's like when you're just learning this truth. You haven't really stepped foot into putting your garment on and being out here in the highways and byways. Like all these brothers here, you see garments, we're apostles, man. Okay? But you're a disciple when you're on the outskirts and you're kind of learning this truth. Shalom.
And when you go into that word disciple, it means discipline. So you're being disciplined. You're disciplined. You know, that's what disciple means, discipline. Because Thomas and all them, there was times Yahweh was getting mad at them. You know, because he was bringing them up on levels. You know, when he said to Philip, have I been so long with you and you have still not known me? So Yahweh was getting angry at the disciples at times, wanting them to get up on them levels. Yeah, what I mean? So he's being disciplined. The Spirit isn't fully on him at the moment to be preaching and shit. He's learning. He was learning under the hand of Yahweh.
He was a newcomer.
You know what I'm saying? He was a new staff, man. You know what I mean? So he wasn't ready for the persecution. He weren't ready yet, man. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really blame him. He had that zeal.
He was still simple.
You know, he had that zeal, but he was still ignorant, man. He was still a babe, man. He wasn't fully furnished in the work yet. He wasn't fully rooted in Yahweh Shai yet, man. Otherwise, he wouldn't have denied nothing, man. So you just said, yeah, I was with him. You know? Mm-hmm. But he denied it because he wasn't stiff in the truth yet. Fully confirmed. Okay. Who's this, man? Okay, you know what I mean? So he denied Yahweh Shai, even though he promised Yahweh Shai he would never deny him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But when it came down, that's why before you come to the Passover, when you know, you got the scripture, any man that drinketh and eateth unworthily shall be worthy of the damnation, man, of eating and drinking unworthily, man. You know? So you have to be fully confirmed within yourself that this is it. Yeah, really. You know what I'm saying? Before you partake in any of the holy things of the table, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So this is it. When you step foot into this camp, these camps, man, you better know what you're in it for. Because if you turn back, that's it for you, man.